Hi, I'm Christine Sullivan, and I'm at Coastline Elderly Services, and today I am speaking with Andrew Bardetti, who is an attorney at South Coastal Counties Legal Services, and we're here to talk about elder abuse. So Andrew, can you tell us all a little bit about yourself and how you came to be interested in this topic?
As an attorney with South Coastal Counties Legal Services, I work in our Seniors Law Project. I came to this role after law school and getting a fellowship known as the Borchardt Foundation Center on Law and Aging, where actually during my first year here, I focused on helping survivors of elder abuse. It was really important to me, particularly as my grandmother was going through a lot of struggles during law school, so it was just a bit of a passion to kind of help folks who might not have the same supports in their lives.
So you have this personal interest in elder abuse. What does your agency do to support people? Like, how does that all come together?
Absolutely. So South Coastal Counties Legal Services, or SCCLS, is a provider of free civil legal aid in southeastern Massachusetts. So what that means is that most people who are low income, over the age of 60 or disabled, would be able to apply to see if we could assist them with their legal issue. We only do civil, so we do not help with criminal issues. That would be for the public defender's office. But with civil issues, it covers a wide range that can include eviction defense, issues with public benefits like SNAP food stamps, Mass Health, Medicare, TAFDC, you name it, we probably can assist with it in terms of public benefits. And then we have a CLAVIC project, which is the civil legal assistance for victims of crime. And that helps people who might have suffered domestic violence or been scammed or something like that.
So when we circle back then to elder abuse, do you see cases of elder abuse? What does that look like? How often do they pop up?
Sure. Yeah. So I think a good starting point is just defining for everyone about elder abuse. I usually think of it as 6 types of abuse, which can include physical, emotional, mental, but also includes financial exploitation, which is someone taking advantage of your money, neglect, which is someone not taking care of you, or self-neglect, which is you not being able to take care of your own needs. When I think about your question of how does civil legal aid help with people who are experiencing any of those issues, first and foremost, people who might be being abused emotionally or physically or mentally, we could advise them or maybe assist them with getting a protection order. For self-neglect, it could be someone who as they've aged, they've been less able to go out to the grocery store on their own. And so they're not able to buy groceries and they're not taking care of themselves. Or maybe they're not keeping up with the cleanliness of their apartment. We do see instances where people might be getting notices from their landlords that the apartment isn't clean. And they're coming to us saying, hey, my landlord doesn't want me to live here anymore because of these things, but I'm really struggling with this and I need some help. So what we try and do is give that client advice, not only on their legal need, but refer them to places that could help. So, like Coastline Elderly Services or other organizations that maybe can come in and provide cleaning help for that person, we will then talk with that landlord and say, hey, look, they're going to set this up. This is not going to be an issue anymore because she's now going to reach out for this help. It really takes a whole community, I think, to help resolve the issue of elder abuse and really find justice for folks. No one should be losing housing because they just need someone else to come and help them.
And how about financial abuse? Like, when is that civil? When is it criminal? We all get scam phone calls, I think, all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's some of these folks making the scam calls are pretty clever. So I imagine you see examples of this.
I think about that all the time, particularly when I get scam called. An example I think of where we might help in a scam situation, so many of our clients might be receiving some public benefits. So if we think about Social Security, there's Social Security retirement, but there's also what we call what's known as supplemental security income, or SSI. it's not uncommon to see someone get what's known as an overpayment notice from Social Security. So Social Security contacts them and says, hey, there was too much money in your account. Well, maybe that happened because they fell prey to one of these scams where they put an initial deposit into your account, but then they take it back out. And so that person didn't really get that money because they were scammed. We might then explain that to Social Security and help restore that person's full SSI benefit.
I've heard elder abuse referred to as elder justice, that it's a social justice issue. How do you see that? Like, how does the community help?
To me, it's really about whether people are getting fair access to participate in our community. And if you have someone, particularly when you're over the age of 60, who is pressuring you, who's being physically violent, who's not taking care of you when they said they would take care of you, that's going to reduce your ability. That's going to lessen your ability to go out in the community and do the things you want to do.
So do you have any suggestions then for family members or friends or neighbors who see a situation with an older adult, a relative, that just doesn't seem right? Like something feels off about it, but they're not sure and they're reluctant to get involved.
Yeah.
What are they supposed to do?
In Massachusetts, we have what's called Adult Protective Services. And that is a law that created different agencies around the state to investigate allegations of elder abuse. There's a 1-800 number that you can call if you suspect that someone is being abused or experiencing any of the kinds of abuse we mentioned earlier. It's just a central hotline number where you can make an anonymous report. Aside from reporting elder abuse, I think there are just local resources in our community. So obviously if someone's facing an eviction, their Social Security is being cut, they are welcome to call our office. They could also call the police. Certainly if someone's in fear of being imminently harmed, you should call the police if there's any kind of urgency.
I would think that you could also call the Council on Aging.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can call us here at Coastline. Because it seems from everything you said, one of the key takeaways is to help older people stay involved in their community, have them engaged in activities, whether it's volunteering or work or just going to the senior center.
Yeah.
Thinking of that sort of social engagement as one way to prevent elder abuse. Do you have any other final thoughts that you want to add to this conversation about prevention or recognition?
I guess my personal philosophy is to just encourage people to be involved in their community. And I think the more we're all involved in trying to lift up our community, we're going to be interacting with each other more and creating trusted places where older people can come and reach out and say, hey, I think I got scammed. What do I do? Because I think the biggest thing to me is to reduce the stigma of being scammed or taken advantage of.
That's great. And I think that wraps us up. So thank you very much, Andrew, for coming in today.
Thanks, Christine. It was a pleasure.